I'm waiting for the opening.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of 321 Kid County Sports Talk. John Parenti, Mike Green, Johnny Boots at the controls. Behind the business worth of wires. It's just crazy stuff there. Oh, hey, boys.
Good
morning.
morning.
So we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Olympics.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what's going on in high school basketball, boys and girls. We're going to take a couple of minutes to talk about the incident in Pawtucket. There's something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, baseball.
Oh, that's coming up.
Thank God
Yeah,
there's
thank
something
God,
real.
baseball. Right.
Yeah.
You're not a big fan of the Olympics, are you?
Not at all.
Why?
I just don't get it. You know what? I'm impressed with the athleticism of the athletes. I just think it's, every 4 years, who do you follow? How do you know who these people are? You kind of got to get vested before you go to watch the Olympics. I mean, it's not like a professional sport, but I'm impressed with the athleticism, the dedication, the endurance. I could never do any of it. I mean, I was watching the speed skating. I was watching what do they call that thing where they put the rifle in their back?
Biathlon?
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, I'm impressed with all of it. It's just you try watching it, you just don't know. Yeah,
But
unless
that's
you.
the romance of it. Biathlon. So what is it? Snowball now? The new one, Snow Mountaineering.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you seen Snowball yet?
No.
Snowball is cool.
No.
You start out, it's actually skiing going uphill.
Yes,
mountaineering. Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's called mountaineering. I think.
Yeah, you got to take your skis off, climb steps, put the skis back on, do cross country up a little bit further.
It's like CrossFit in the
The-
winter outside.
Yeah.
is
the
what it
last
is.
sport
That's what
to
it is.
get caught, the last sport to catch on from the Winter Olympics was curling. Everybody loved curling.
Everyone loves curling.
Everybody
Love
loves. I
curling.
mean, you said you watch it. I
Yeah,
watch
watch
it. If
the-
it's on, I'll throw it on, especially if
Yeah.
it's the United States. But to watch the snow stuff, the snowboarding, the skis, it's the skiing. It's like watching a hockey game and waiting for a fight. You're kind of watching the skiing and waiting for somebody to wreck.
Oh, that's sick. Right.
That's what we're dealing with.
Oh, wow. and he's
ABC's
controlling the
Wide
show.
World of Sports, the agony of defeat. How many times did they play that in the
Yeah,
opening?
That poor guy. How many times did he fall off the?
But no, I mean,
I mean, you
hockey.
feel that way about the Summer Olympics too?
See, the Summer Olympics, we can. I guess we
Why?
can. The Summer Olympics, I guess we can kind of take to because they're playing sports that volleyball. We all played volleyball. We all, even though we might suck at it, we all played it. There's basketball. We watched the men's basketball. There's going to be flag football in a few years. That's going to be pretty cool. Why? See, you wouldn't watch that.
Oh, I'll watch
Oh,
it.
you watch anything. You watch grass grow.
That's right.
Yeah.
But there's sports that we are accustomed to in the Summer Olympics, then more so than the Winter Olympics. That's my take. That's all.
That's fine. And I think I understand what you're saying about having no relationship to
To the
particular athletes.
But I think
or
that's part of the
sports.
romance of it too.
I think the spirit of the Olympics is the world coming together in peace to compete. And instead of soldiers fighting each other.
Unless you're from Canada.
I was
I
just
don't
you
even
took
care.
the words out.
Right, so
That
that's
curling guy
Canada,
from
that
Canada.
cheater. So, but they all cheat at some level. But I think that's the spirit of the Olympics is to come together as the world and boast your best athletes in these events and contests. They've been going on since the Greek times when they competed. Instead of fighting, they would take a break in the hostilities and they would have athletic contests like wrestling or the javelin and a lot of the implements in track and field who came from wartime, and then it was a peace, and then they would compete. Send me your best shot player, and then they would do that for bragging rights. So I think that's the spirit of the Olympics, always was, and I think these athletes, I appreciate the fact that they're representing America, they were representing their countries.
No, I
think
agree.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's not a political platform, and you see some of these people starting to lose sight of that they're using the Olympics as a political platform. And then that's a
But
little
doesn't that go all the way back to John Carlos and Tommy
yeah,
Smith?
putting the hands up. Yeah, and you can argue that wasn't
That was
really
pretty
well
political,
received.
Mike.
It was, but it wasn't well received either. That
What
was
were
the
you,
other
about
thing.
8 years old when that happened?
No, I don't even know. But I do know what.
1968.
So being a part of being a phys ed teacher, we took sport. So international sport was an Olympic, and when my college professor wrote a book on it, and he talked a lot about the Olympics and the things that go into the Olympic Games. And so it was interesting. So that's why I don't watch all the. I'm not going to sit here and say I sit there and watch it, but I do appreciate it. And
Yes.
if there's an event that kind of piques my interest, I'll sit and watch the event. So that's just me.
How many
I
people
do
are going to be
like
watching that hockey game tomorrow morning at 8:10?
Yep. Yeah, that would be a great game. You're rooting for USA and
Unless
we'll
you're
watch
from
that.
Canada, eh?
Hey, what happens when we suck?
Oh,
them
don't
in
start
and
that. It's not political. Here we go. We're going to stop.
The governor of
The
governor
52nd
of-
state? Is that what you're
governor
going
of
to say?
Canada.
Great. Oh, boy.
Can I readily admit that I enjoyed watching the figure skating, both the men's and the women's?
Yeah.
You gotta appreciate it. You really do.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
athleticism,
it's
the commitment.
yes.
The young lady that competed and won gold for the U.S. Her story was tremendous. Her dad escaped China. He was a political protester in China.
Yep.
Left China to come here and then made a great life for himself and his kids. On the other side of that, the young man who failed miserably was in the news when they had the team competition. He performed great, but he made out of context, he made a comment that I'm really not concerned about the team score. I'm more focused on my individual events, which really, like in my eyes, just wiped him right out. He lost. He performed poorly.
That's where the pressure really hit.
Yeah, that to
And
me
he-
is, when you make those comments, this is you're skating, competing, skiing, whatever. You're doing it for the USA. So that's my opinion on it.
So we know you're going to be at 8:10 tomorrow morning.
Yeah, working at the Coventry Police Station, watching
Watching the hockey.
hockey. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Good.
I watched both games yesterday. Canada, USA. It was a good
It's been a
game.
good tournament.
Yeah, it's been an excellent tournament. You know what? I got to appreciate Mike Tirico. I was kind of skeptical about him taking on the primetime hosting duties, but he's been excellent. I think he's pretty good.
Think about that. Think about had to leave the Super Bowl,
I know.
jump a plane, go cross country, and then go transatlantic to Italy in a matter of one day.
I know.
Less
It's
than
just
one day.
crazy. But I appreciate him. He's doing a fabulous
nice
job.
job.
I mean, he's not Jim McKay, but but we're in a
He's
different
gifted.
time and era.
He's gifted.
Yeah, he really is. He
Yeah.
really Syracuse grad. He's really is
Yeah.
gifted. I thoroughly enjoy him, and
He
I
does
think
a good job.
he does.
He does
He
a
does a
good job.
great job. And Noah Eagle doing the NBA basketball. I don't know. That was a couple of weeks ago. Was it that last week? Was the NBA All-Star game last week?
I didn't
Yeah.
even watch
last
the,
week.
I didn't even watch the NBA.
You know what
All-Star.
I watched the and not to change the subject real quick. I know we got other things to talk about. I watched the skills competition, slam dunk and stuff like that. Was actually pretty cool. I get more enjoyment out of watching those guys try to beat each other at the 3-point shooting contest and so than I actually do watching a game, which I didn't watch those stupid Stars
Yeah.
Stripes World Team. I didn't
Yeah.
watch any of that crap.
They
It's not
just grasping
worthwhile.
at straws to do
Trying to find
something.
a way because they've ruined it.
Hey,
They really need it. Just give the players a break.
In
Just
any,
allow
do you
them
need
to
it
have
in
a
any
break.
sport? Do you need
You
an
know.
NFL flag football game?
No, you really don't.
go back to East versus West. Done.
Well, they don't want to. The players. I understand that they don't want to really risk injury. This is like a
Remember when the scores were 190 to 180?
Yeah, no one wants to see that. But no one wants to see that either. I
No.
just think that you know what? Have an All-Star weekend like a convention. Have the stars in a convention center. Let the fans go, take pictures with them, sign autographs.
Like the Red Sox do with their Fenway Fest, and they have like that Winter
Yeah.
Fest,
Let
Yeah.
let the fans meet the players.
NFL experience, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
so the players aren't playing. They're not risking injury. And all they're doing is sitting there greeting fans, taking pictures.
And the NFL's still making money. But go ahead.
The only sport where an all-star event matters, you're going to hate me for this, is NASCAR. Because you can't get away from racing your automobile around the track.
But every week's an all-star game for NASCAR because everybody's
Yeah.
individual.
Yes and no.
Everybody, the only one that, and I yet to
They'll
understand.
call it NASCAR All-Star Weekend.
Oh, they
They'll
will.
dedicate one race to it, usually in Charlotte.
Oh, see, I don't follow NASCAR enough. Believe it or not, the only NASCAR race I ever watched, and I know this is going to sound weird, was Fox's first NASCAR race, which is when Dale Earnhardt tragically
Oh,
died.
yeah, I don't.
That was the
watch
only
a lot
one
of
I've ever
NASCAR at
watched.
all.
I've never watched it since.
But the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, you can say to some measure, yeah, that matters a little bit. There was a time only a few years ago when the All-Star Game winner
Yeah, that was dumb.
had the advantage
Yeah.
of the World Series.
Right. Yeah.
But
the
even like
home
a
field,
fan
they
fest,
would
like Mike
need
said,
home
a
field.
fan fest where you can still do your skills competition. You can still do your slam dunk contest, still do your home run contest.
If you're a pro athlete, you're going to blow that off. If you're LeBron James, you're going to blow that off in 5 minutes.
Well, you can't. That's probably
That's
the
probably
NBA.
why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't. In other words, there's going to be stipulations in everyone's contract that you have to attend. If it's a weekend event, you have to show up one day. Yeah, you can write these. You can write anything into a contract. These guys are gazillionaires. I'll tell you what, baseball all-star is like a real all-star game because every kid who's ever played baseball has, there was always been an all-star game somewhere in their life. So they get it, they play it, and I think it's part of the culture of baseball, that all-star game, wearing a different uniform, different hat, playing for somebody else. I think and those guys are competitive because you have to throw the ball
Yeah,
over the
pitchers
plate.
got to throw their stuff. They don't want to get lit up.
Yeah, no one wants to get lit up in an all-star game. So, yeah.
So if there's
I
one,
like that.
yeah,
So we can agree. We'll keep that
Yeah.
and do away with football.
yeah,
and
football
basketball.
and basketball, even
Hockey.
hockey.
I love the what was it? The US, the one where McAvoy got busted up. USA versus the world.
Oh, that was the
The
14,
four
four nations.
I like that.
That was
I
pretty.
thought that was-
And people took to it,
People love that. That was as close to the Olympics as you're going to
and
get.
that's why this is a big game tomorrow. because
It's a payback.
It's big, exactly.
That's right.
What's next on your agenda, there, old master?
I want,
I don't know how you can see that. Good for him. The eyes like eagles.
I want to talk about the Matega thing.
Sure.
And the reason why I think the forum is good here because you as a first responder, Boots,
Mhm.
you as an administrator, Mike. My first question probably is to you. The response to something like that. What do you trade for? Or are you
that's-
trade for something of that magnitude?
You are and you're not, and it's Chris Labrizzi, the head coach for Blackstone Valley. Everybody knows he's a retired Cranston firefighter, and he actually had a retired Warwick firefighter on the staff. And I guess listening to his interviews, he made sure his team got off the ice and got safe, and then him and his assistant coaches jumped into the stands and just started going at it. Are we trained? Yes. However it happens is a different approach. So now you get to a place like that. I'm not Monday morning quarterback, and the guys from Central Falls and the guys from Pawtucket were the first two guys rescues there that transported the first two. And you just make sure the scene is clear. That's the biggest thing. Your safety is, you don't want to become part of the problem. Make sure the scene is safe. You go in, you do your thing, you scoop, you screw, you get out of there, get them to a hospital. But the biggest thing is making sure the scene is safe. You met with such tragedy and you met with such chaos. You need to stay focused because you could get lost in that chaos, and that's the
rink,
problem. I've only been to that rink once.
It's a dangerous place. I would say it's a dangerous place, but it's configured such that you have that one main entrance out front stands on one side. If you look at the film or the video, the cameras were set up way to the side of the rink where there's no public access. And all the action happened on the other side of the stands. And it just made for, I think, a very difficult situation for them to get what they needed. If it hadn't been for those three now, I guess it is,
They're at
Good
3.
Samaritans,
Yeah.
it could have been, God knows what it could have been.
So now you look at and this is going to put my fire marshal hat back on.
Which is why I bring this question.
Yeah, no,
to
you got to look at the capacity. You got to look at the capacity. How many people were in there? That could have been a lot worse when people are trying to rush out of there. Stampedes. We all know about that.
Panic.
Sets in. People trip, they fall, they're getting out of stands. I mean, you're trying to get to safety.
And those stands are also the ones with the open. You got the open.
They're like the West Warwick stands, correct? Yeah.
Exactly.
So you worry about that. So now you take into consideration how many people were in the stands. How packed was that place? You could see that it was standing room only all the way to the right. If you look at that film footage, all the way to the right, there was people standing up way in the corner, just like West Warwick, down by where the Zamboni comes in, kind of configured the same way, all the way to the right. So now you look now how are you getting out? How many emergency exits? Did people utilize the emergency exits? So did they go back out the way they came in? We're talking about 23 years ago too. You know what I'm saying? And that comes into consideration as well. So you got there's a lot of factors going into a place like that. So now you're the first responders trying to get in. Now you get 300 people trying to get out, and you're trying to get in. There's more chaos. You're trying to get in. There's a delay. It's tough. That's a tough situation. All the credit in the world to those first responders. God bless them. Been there, done that. Get the T-shirt. It's tough.
Absolutely.
It's tough. Really is.
Mike, as an administrator, I mean, there are cautions that need to be taken prior to any event. But is it time now for the league to take a look at, gee, what can we do to make things safer?
Yeah, well, first, obviously, this is a horrifying incident that happened, and for all those families that were affected, I think everyone in the state is very, has a lot of strong feelings to those people and those families. But as far as the Interscholastic League, we met, we've had a few meetings, already. About what to do.
Didn't realize that.
Yeah, so we've already had some meetings, and there's more meetings with using, crisis specialists throughout the state are offering their opinion and their advice, and that trickles down to schools. I think a big issue one thing that came out of this was let's have a protocol, and there's always been a safety protocol for all schools to follow, or advice or recommendations. But I think this time, we're looking at maybe identifying clothing, lanyards, things that are going to easily identify safety personnel or security personnel. Like really some itemized things like this would be best practices to have these things in place. Also, just like we do with theater performances, we always tell everyone where the exits are pre-game, just to notify everyone that, the people that you see in the red coats are our security. If you have any concerns, please bring it to their attention. Please be mindful of the exits on all sides of the buildings. So those are things that don't really happen. Typically, we'll say sportsmanship is paramount in those things, but we don't talk about the other part, the safety part, like we do if we went to a performance at West Warwick High School. They always start by notifying where all the emergency exits are. So I think that's part of the protocol that moving forward you're going to see. But it's really hard because this situation kind of shines a light on what happens in sports. Schools are pretty well protected. There's a protocol to get in and out of a building
During school days.
during school.
Thank you.
But but the civic center, gymnasiums, practice fields, there really isn't safety protocols per se that's really going to perfectly secure everyone who's in attendance. Even at practice, people come in and out of doors all the time. Or if you're practicing on the field, that could have happened anywhere. It just happened in a hockey rink. That incident could have happened anywhere else. Could have happened on a football field. Could have happened at Walmart. Could have happened in a softball field.
You're right.
So what do we do? What do we expect our coaches to do? What are the responsibility? What are some best practices that schools can adopt? And then can just reinforce those protocols, support those communities with resources. But I think each school really has to sit down and discuss what's best for their facilities and how they can keep everyone safe after the bell rings.
What's the difference between the Ryan Center, where they implement metal detectors? Because I know I put them out now. They implement metal detectors.
So that's just,
and that's a closed venue. Like you can't get in unless there's an event.
Right. and there's an event staff,
If-
that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm just telling
No,
you.
no, I know,
that's-
but it costs a lot of money because it's such a large venue. But then you go next door to the Boss Arena, right? Ice hockey
yeah, you're
rink
walking in.
does not have metal detectors. They do not have them, but next door does, which I don't understand the difference. But we just
Well,
take it down
The
from
Ryan Center hosts a lot of different other events. There's concerts. There's just not basketball.
I can tell you right now, we're having work in there now. There's nothing going on other than basketball. Maybe a job fair. That's it. There's
Didn't
one
they have
concert.
concerts there?
They have occasionally. If there's 2 concerts there a year, that's a lot. Seriously. But what do? You take that large venue, you go to smaller venues. West Warwick High School, Coventry High School, Bishop Hendricken. I mean, it's not that hard. Will it cost money? Absolutely, everything costs money. But it's not that hard to bring those protocols from the bigger arenas, the AMP, the Ryan Center, and bring it to a smaller venue like a gymnasium or a hockey rink, because you got less exits to control. You know what I'm trying to say? Less exits to control. And so it's easier and less money to put in for metal detectors and such like that going forward. You're not going to, these open air arenas like football fields and baseball fields, you're never gonna, somebody could be sitting on the outside and still take a pop shot at you. But the closed arenas, just looking at West Warwick, that's easy. That's easy in itself. That's so easy to do. It's not even funny.
You know, there's a philosophy that metal detectors kind of symbolize prison, and is
For a school day, yes.
Yeah.
I'm talking about for events.
so for events. I mean, portable metal.
Oh yeah, they're very portable. I do it all the
Yeah.
time. But you know what I'm trying to say? You're open, school day, you're in a lockdown. Right? You can't get into that school unless you go to that front door,
Right.
and get buzzed in, unless somebody's planning something and pops a door open on the outside. We'd already talked about this. I've gone through the
Yes,
school
yeah, you
shooting
can
protocols.
we can.
You know, you and I have been, but to say
say
you're opening it up to the public, and you have outsiders coming in to the schools for an event, cheerleading competition. I'm not even going to use
Sure,
basketball.
sure.
Cheerleading competition, play. You can funnel those people to 1 or 2 entrances to scan them or do whatever to take care of them and bring them into the venue, and then you still got your emergency exits that are a one-way out.
Well, I would say that I'm sure those conversations are happening.
I'm
at
hoping they're happening. I
something
mean,
way above us, but you know.
we had them when I was in West Warwick Fire Department. We had that type of, when we talk about school shooters and active shooters and stuff like that, and I don't want to get into it, but to get into active shooters, and you're there, you're an administrator, to get into active shooters, you get the locks and the doors for the classrooms. Are they proper? Are they approved? Different things like that. Then you have your protocols, your ASHA protocols and things like that. But you're just going to take it to the next level where you actually have the public coming in now.
Well, I think that's the conversation that schools are going to have.
Exactly.
They're going to have that, like you said, at 1:45 the bell rings. From 2 on, how do we secure the building?
Yes.
And that's but that's a realistic conversation.
Yeah.
I know that we're going that direction.
Total security is the goal. Improved security is more necessary, more reachable, more attainable.
You got to
I think
start
when you look
somewhere.
at it
Absolutely,
realistically,
yeah.
because you're not spending any money. Some of the things you mentioned earlier, the protocols and the speeches before the game and stuff, doesn't cost a thing, but improves security. So you go from this level to this
Yeah.
level. Something else that you had mentioned.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while, but the improvements are going to be made. And those
Yeah.
meetings that I didn't realize were taking place already
I'm sure they've taken
are,
place.
are very important.
So, for those that haven't been to a contest, this is not a West Warwick. This is, any other school. The supervisors, they're people who are in the building. They're teachers, they're secretaries, there's clerks. These aren't, you say, security. You're not thinking, a 6'2",
Yep.
250-pound guy wearing a security jacket. It's typically, someone who's working, to catch extra bucks. So that's part of it. What you have at your disposal financially to get security people to work, and it can be, and sometimes even police. I know one community, they have 2 police officers. They're contracted, 2 police officers per game. But those 2 police officers don't separate. They're they're together. So they go upstairs together. They go downstairs together. They don't split up for their safety, apparently. And then when there's an inner rivalry game, they'll have 4. But then again, those 2, they stay together. So, there's a lot going on. And I think even the best laid plans need to be kind of adjusted to fit kind of just common sense issues. If I had 4 police officers, I need to tell them, you need to go here, 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 and here, and not waste 2 in the cafeteria just because those 2 want to go in the cafeteria. I need some control as the supervisor to tell them what I need them to do. Now, that's not a West Warwick thing at all, but because our guys come, we had a great presence the day the chief came. We really appreciated him. A bunch of young guys showed up and making sure the chief was okay. So they took, when I saw them come in, I'm like, wow, what's going on here? Because we had like 4 come in, but they were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
The chief was there. They wanted to make sure that he was there, and it was great for us. I felt better with that presence around. I really did, because sometimes, unfortunately, it's not the players, it's the people in the stands that make things a little more difficult.
Yep.
So what's the long-term situation now? Have you heard from the league regarding some of the things that they're
just
put together?
Those recommendations right now, and I think it's up to every individual school is how they want to secure their sites. So it's an overarching recommendations. Let's do this. You can't mandate 5 supervisors. As RIL's not going to mandate. We can't mandate athletic trainers. We need athletic trainers at every event, but we can't mandate that because it costs money, for the schools. So I think that the recommendations will come from a very reputable source to say this is the best practices to secure venues, and then districts are going to have to see what they can do. And unfortunately, something that comes.
It does come down to money. So we're at Dan's place, by the way.
Oh, love it.
Me too.
Any chocolate cake out there?
Oh my God. Get some to go.
Oh, you know what? With the predictions of 12 to 20 inches of snow?
Yeah.
Probably
great.
nothing better than a couple of pieces of chocolate tart from Dan's place. Stuff is great. Good time for us to break. When we come back in the Scholastic League basketball update, we're going to talk a lot about what's happening down in, I was going to say Winter Haven, but it's Fort Myers now, of course. Yeah, we'll talk some baseball, we'll talk some other stuff. We'll be back with more 321 King County Sports Talk in a moment here on 321.
We've told you for years that AJ's Restaurant is Kent County's go-to spot for great breakfast, lunch, and takeout too at 828-4160. And now you'll find more parking, mere steps from the back of the building to AJ's front doors. AJ's, plenty of those world-famous home fries, plenty of parking, and as always, popular for breakfast, popular for lunch. 1365 Main Street, West Warwick. Since 1974, Bill's Place has been synonymous with good times and great food. Whether it's a family celebration, a post-game meal, or a simple visit for lunch, Bill's Place has served thousands with great pizza and grinders, sandwiches, and specials for nearly 50 years. If you haven't visited Bill's Place in a while, you're quite overdue for the great, consistent taste that's been part of Kent County for so long. Bill's Place, 707 Main Street in West Warwick. Open 11 to 10, Monday through Saturday. For takeout, call 828-2300. Check out the menu at billsplaceri.com.
The law offices of Murphy and Fay have over 75 years of combined experience in personal injury law, automobile accidents, and DUI cases. Bill Murphy, Mark Fay, and Brandon Horan will give you the personal attention, the experience, the skill, and dedication that your case deserves. It's a winning combination. If you're injured in an auto accident and it's not your fault, call Murphy and Fay. They will make them pay. Call 490-3200 or visit them online at murphyandfay.com.
Welcome to Dan's Place, Rhode Island's #1 stop for amazing food, drinks, and live entertainment. Dan's Place offers a fantastic selection of unique menu items, including pizzas, pasta, steaks, and seafood. Here's what our customers have to say: a masterpiece on a crust. Watch your favorite New England teams on one of Dan's 4 big screen TVs. Looking for a great place to meet? Try Dan's Place.
I'm Dan from Dan's Place, where your only regret is not coming in sooner. Hey, it's Johnny Mack, General Manager here at Sandy Motors, family owned since 1988. Come see why Sandy Motors makes car buying wicked easy. Check out our large inventory and get approved to drive home today. Start your deal now at sandymotors.com.
Visit the West Warwick Civic Center for great family entertainment and special events, from public skating to sporting events and trade shows. And there's much, much more all year around. Visit us frequently on Facebook or on the town's website at westwarwickri.org. And for more information about facility rentals, call 822-9200. See you soon at the West Warwick Civic Center.
Experience matters, and at Williamson Law, that experience comes with a well-deserved reputation of excellence. For legal solutions, whether it's divorce, personal injury, criminal law, or estate protection, Williamson Law provides knowledgeable and effective representation. A history of successful litigation that speaks volumes. Get the representation you need. Williamson Law, 247 Quaker Lane, West Warwick. Call 615-9321.
I never met these pastors.
Hi, I'm Greg Dantis, the broker owner at Rhode Island Real Estate Services. And since we opened our doors in 2012, supporting youth and community programs has been at the core of our mission. Selling Rhode Island means more than selling houses. It means supporting communities, putting people over profit. We service all of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and also parts of Connecticut. We're proud to support the communities that support us. You can contact us anytime at 401-885-5400 or visit us on the web, 401sold.com.
Hi, I'm Sean with Easy Does It Moving and More. Whether it's local or long distance, we've got you covered. We even help with unpacking and secure storage when you need it.
From start to finish, Easy Does It Moving and More makes sure that all of your belongings get there safely. Make your move easy and call 401-545-6078 today.
Easy Does It Moving and More, because moving shouldn't be stressful. It should be easy.
Back at Dan's Place for another edition of 321 Sports Talk. Mike Reed, Johnny Boots. A lot of basketball action last night. Not a lot of basketball action coming up on Monday and Tuesday, though, I think, guys. It's going to be a little bit stormy. But other than the Providence Journal, this is probably going to be the most complete and intensive coverage of high school basketball you're going to find anywhere in the state of Rhode Island. These two little pieces.
You know what? I'll take your reporting on high school sports over anybody or anything at the Providence Journal.
I know where you're headed.
If you watch Twitter on Monday or Tuesday, you'll know what I'm talking about. Whiny son of a gun, that whiny, I won't say his name.
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Good night for some teams, bad night for others.
Yeah.
Richard Grenier, thumbs up.
Good for him.
Matt Grenier and Greg Kordick, not so much. Rich Pendola, not so much.
Tough year.
Exeter West Greenwich coming up, though, after a bye. We're going to have that game for you here on, well, we don't know what night, really.
Tuesday.
Well,
it's scheduled for Tuesday at 7.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By then they'll know a little.
We
By
might be
Monday night,
shoveled
you're
out.
going to know.
Yeah.
So anyway, here's what happened today. Let's take Division I first. Central big win over Smithfield. Classical North Kingstown actually playing today. The winner of that one faces Central. Hedricken, a winner, beat Cumberland last night.
Yep.
They now take on LaSalle in yet another edition of the Holy War.
Yeah, I think people like that. Like, instead of both of them making their way to the championship, one's got to go. So I think when they meet each other in a round that's down towards the bottom, I think people like that because now you are sure that both of them get knocked out at one point. Because people hate to see them in the finals together. So
You're not going to see Westerly in the finals, Boots. That team we saw, we were so impressed with.
I
got
know.
beat last night about Pleasant.
Wow.
They now go to Barrington, which technically is the number 1 seed. Lincoln is the 1 seed, the 2 seed. Where are they going? Lincoln, where are they doing with Lincoln? Oh, Lincoln's playing Portsmouth. Portsmouth beat Providence last night in the other Division 1 quarterfinal. So you've got Central playing Classical or North Kingstown. You've got Portsmouth playing at Lincoln. You've got Hendricken playing LaSalle. And the other one is Mount Pleasant, which is going to move on the road and play at Barrington. Those are your 4 Division 1 quarterfinals. Semis will be played on a neutral court, correct?
Correct.
All right. Division 2, tough one for the Oakers last night. South Kingstown's James Wilson scores 28 points. They knock off the Oakers 65-52. They now go to Mount Hope, a team that has come out of nowhere and has basically been tremendous all season long. Very, very good basketball team on the East Bay. For West Warwick, the news is not as good. Wizards lost to Narragansett 54-42. Tough to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
Law of averages are working against you right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Barrett is dead. They go to St. Ray's on Monday. Burrville, a winner over Charahoe. That kind of surprised me a little bit too, Boots. We saw Charahoe earlier in the year. They were tall, they were talented, they were pretty good. Burrville knocks them off by 5. They come to East Greenwich on Tuesday. That's going to be a test for the Avengers.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moses Brown and Rogers play today. The winner gets Creston West on Monday. And those are your 4 Division 2 quarterfinals. Division 3, Prout beat Tiverton last night, 64-67.
They came from behind in the last 3 minutes to take that game. I was listening to Ben do a watch along, and I was actually
tell me about that watch along.
so because we didn't have the rights, so we had the rights to broadcast, we just didn't have the manpower from what I was hearing because we lost a couple of camera people. Ben watches it through NFHS and then describes the action for you. It's basically like Peyton and Eli Manning without the video. You're just listening to him and he's actually giving you the updates because unless you want to pay $6.99 a month to go, NFHS, which is outrageous, I think. And you can just listen to Ben kind of describe the action. He's bouncing back and forth. It's like NFL Red Zone without the video.
Right.
And it actually worked because I wasn't able to go to the Coventry game last night. I was listening to Ben describe the game and tell me who was winning and who was making the shots. And he was doing the same for the other games. I think he did like 5 games last night. Really. And the last game was was the Coventry South. Yeah, it worked. I got to say, it worked. Yeah, it worked. It was a
Ben
very
Barber,
nice job.
player of the game.
Yeah.
Definition of multitasking.
Yep.
Yeah, he did. It was great.
All right, so Times Square knocks off Blackstone Valley Prep. They go to Situate on Monday. Davies knocks off Hope. They play North Smithfield in North Smithfield on Tuesday. Richard Grenier's team beats PCD.
PCD.
A team that really I wasn't impressed with when they played EWG. They knock out the Johnson kid.
Yeah.
So Tollgate moves on to play Pontiac on Tuesday. Tough test, tough ride for Richard and his crew. And the 4th quarterfinal, the one that we'll have right here on 321 Kent County. Prout against EWG. That Exeter West Greenwich team is delicious.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be a fun game. And believe it or not, that's the only game left for 321 Media. There's nobody else, right? There's no other. Wesley's out.
EWG.
That's it.
Coventry girls.
But they're going to
girls.
be, but they're in Mount Hope, correct? Or yeah.
Coventry girls are at Rogers.
Rogers. I knew they're on the other side of the bay.
Monday night, but obviously it's probably going to be Tuesday.
Probably be canceled.
Yeah, Coventry, a 55-40 winner last night. Leah Lapham had a good game. So did Sabrina Vesey. It leading the Oakers to that win. Cumberland kind of wilted at the end, and Coventry took care of their part of the deal. Again, they play at Portsmouth on Monday. All right, so Burrville knocked off PCD. They play at Prout. Moses Brown was a winner over Barrington, 42-37. They play Monday. Portsmouth, a winner over Classical, plays in North Kingstown. Central beat Middletown. They play Davies Volk on Tuesday. Lincoln beat Situate. They're intimidated on Monday. Cranston West, a 47-40 winner over LaSalle. That ends LaSalle as a finalist last year. They're out now. I look at you because of that Hendrick and LaSalle rivalry thing.
Yeah, I feel nothing.
Yep. Very impartial, isn't he? Anyway, LaSalle is out. Cranston West is in. They play Pottagansett after Pottagansett beat West Warwick by an awful lot. That's
That's kind of
needless.
the lunacy of you have a one team playing a 14 team with no seniors, the walking wounded. Steve did a great job this year. Steve Lawton, just to be able to keep
really
those girls
did.
motivated.
Yeah.
Because I worked all week. Lest everyone thinks everyone's on vacation. Coaches and administrators are working
Mike Green worked.
diligently. No, but I did, jump in walk down to the gym and saw them practice. I know what he has. The kids are gamers. They're tough as nails. There's no quitting these kids. But, a number one team of Pottagansett playing a 14 team, it's really the imbalance is ugly.
Get your lead,
The
get
score
your
is
subs
just
in.
as ugly. If you don't score 83 points, to me, that score is obnoxious. The athletic director should be called then. There should be someone saying, that was a bad look for a school that makes no bones about their pathway programs and getting kids from everywhere. If that was a Hendricken doing that, they'd be up in arms at Hendricken.
Absolutely.
If it was LaSalle, they'd be up in arms at
Yep.
LaSalle. Pottagansett shouldn't get a pass in the court of public opinion by scoring as many points as they did against these kids. And that's, there's my editorial.
Final was 83-30.
You see my point?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Come on.
But you're right, Steve. You know what? Nobody loves those kids more than Steve Lawton does.
No, and he did a great job because he totally had to change the way he coached. And if anyone's ever watched Steve coach, he's on his feet the whole game, yelling. But this time, with this group of kids, he had to change kind of what the practices look like. More trying to keep it light, trying to keep it fun, trying to keep it positive, making more competitions, more spirited. They went, and I believe they scrimmaged another team. They had a joint practice. Those are good things that he probably wouldn't do if he had those really talented teams that he's had, but I think it takes a good coach to recognize what he has in front of him. And instead of, beating them down, he was trying to build them up. So really, coach of the year, Steve Lawton.
Steve Lawton had a vision of what his team was going to be, which caused the move to Division One. When he had Kellen David and he had the rest of Mackenzie Rowland, he had a lot of players who he thought could compete with the best and wanted them to compete against the best. They're all hurt. What are you going to do?
Yeah, but I don't win out of division. I think there are Division One programs, and then there's good Division Twos. I think we're very good, and that's throughout the whole student body. What you have coming in the doors.
And it's in every sport.
Yeah, it's in every sport. So he definitely, those years he was a victim of their success over the years, and that's kind of an ongoing issue that a lot of teams have with the realignment formula. Your wins impact so much and move you into a division that you might not really belong. It's inflated. So again, something that is a conversation that we've always had.
So rounding out what's going to go on to us, Kingstown beat Pawtucket. They now go to Portsmouth. Pottagansett, again, the winner against West Warwick, will be playing Cranston West. Go Falcons. Never thought I'd get those words out of my mouth ever.
Never hear me say it.
Narragansett BD's Greenwich. And now heads to Lincoln School and potential slaughter there because the Lincoln School team is phenomenal and unbeaten. Very, very good. Wesley's also hosting a game. They got the Rebels coming in. They beat Charahoe last night. Central Falls plays Woonsocket today. The win against Exeter West Greenwich. How about EWG? The boys and the girls going into the playoffs, going into the second round at least, if not more. And North Province and Cranston East with the winner playing at Pilgrim on Tuesday. Patriots turned their season around right about the holiday break. They finished 15-3 after looking absolutely atrocious in the first part of the year. Good for them. So that's what's going on in the Scholastic League, divided by two pieces of paper.
You won't get anywhere better coverage.
Nope, not at all.
Yep.
In all in one breath.
That's not bad.
No, John's on top of Scholastic League sports.
I'll tell you what, no pictures of himself, right? Just him reporting the scores.
Yep. Not trying to
That's
shoot
it.
3-pointers in every gym
No.
in the state.
Not trying
No.
to.
Oh, you don't want to see my 3-point
Yeah,
shot.
you're not,
No.
not whining on Twitter.
Nope.
He doesn't even have Twitter or X or whatever
I
the hell it's
do,
called.
I
You
do.
do?
Do you really?
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. All right.
Don't have
might be the
Facebook.
he doesn't have Facebook.
You got your Facebook back? No, me either.
No.
I'm still in jail. I still got. Shut up, Green. You don't even know how to use Facebook.
I don't. That's
So
why.
let's-
That's why I'm not off it, because I couldn't give you the information. So,
I got to work on that this week.
Hey, things have started in spring training,
yeah. How about that?
and the debate is already on with regard to the Red Sox. Excuse me, who's going to play where? What's the rotation? A lot of unanswered questions, but it's fun. It's the first week.
It's gonna be an interesting year. You know, it's the same conversation every year. They didn't spend enough. They didn't get the right free agents. What are they doing? They're not spending money.
You know, what's funny is they
Yeah.
said that last year going into the season, and look at that. They made the playoffs.
They did. And now you're supposed to do a little more. You made the playoffs, not doing much. Do a little more. Go further. That's kind of the thought process, right?
Their
So-
rotation's like ranked third in the major leagues right now. Their rotation.
They got 142 starting pitchers now. They basically have cornered the market.
Right.
I mean, nobody's talking about Connolly Early. Nobody's talking about Peyton Tolley. Those two kids are bona fide talent ball players.
Right. And you're going to need to kind of bring them along slowly in limited spots, middle reliever, you know, maybe a closer. But Tolley could be a closer. But, you know, you got to treat them with kid gloves because they are your future. And you have to look at, if you're going to be the Red Sox and you don't want to go out and get the free, you don't want to spend and you want to build from your program, your farm teams, then you got to be patient with those kids, you know. And if someone offers you a pot of gold for them, you got to take a breath because, you know, you're doing well with these kids.
Hmm.
So
Just no bats. That's going to be the offense. I think that's
no bats, no bats.
Roman Anthony. That's
You
about
put
it.
a lot of pressure on that kid. What's he gonna
Yeah.
hit? 21 home runs.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. They're gonna have to manufacture runs as opposed to
They're going to get
Hitting home
get
runs.
30 home runs this year at least from Contreras.
Okay.
Who's going to hit that wall?
I mean,
an
you're the
awful lot.
baseball guru, so I mean, what are you thinking? If you're the
Contreras-
coach, what do you look at?
Contreras at first. Now you're going to decide what you're going to do short and second.
Sure.
Is it going to be Trevor Story? Is it going to be
Meyer.
Romy Hernandez? Is it going to be Marcelo Meyer? Corbin Durbin's coming in. Is he going to be your everyday third baseman? Will Meyer place him at third? You got 4 outfielders. You can only use 3. Who's going to be the DH on those specific days? Who backs up Narvaez? Is Connor Wong coming back? When you look at what the Red Sox did over the course of, I want to say, the last 12 weeks, every catcher that was available, they were going to take a shot at. You're going to see a lot of movement behind the plate, behind Narvaez. And it's not a guarantee that Connor Wong's going to be back. He's going to have to come back on the year player kind of a season. But the pitching staff, I mean, you got Suarez. You obviously have Giolito's garbage. You got Bayo.
Yep.
You got the 2 kids. You got Sonny Gray. Hopefully, some of their health returns. And we haven't even mentioned their number 1, Garrett Crochet.
Yeah,
Will
because
he
you're
come
not
back
worried
for
about
another
him.
year? I mean, I think they're loaded. I really think they're loaded. Toronto's loaded too. The Yankees are a little bit better. You know, they'll have some healthy arms back. It's going to be an arms race, though, and the Red Sox have got the market cornered.
I think you put Marcelo Myers as short. He's a natural shortstop, anyways. Move Story over to second base. You know, he's getting older. You know, he stayed healthy, relatively healthy last year,
Yeah.
which was huge. That
That was his first full year healthy.
It was the first time,
First
right?
full year
Never
healthy
stays
with the Red
healthy.
Sox.
So I think that middle infield will come around. I think that would be a pretty, you know, smart move to put those 2 athletes where they are there. We'll see. What are you going to do with Durant? What type of year are you going to get out of Durant?
You'll know
It's
by
always
the
been-
All-Star break.
You know, what kind of year are you going to get?
Is he trade bait at All-Star break?
He
You know, you
wasn't-
guys keep talking about that. I don't think you get rid of him.
Oh, I don't think you do too, but I'm thinking of how Breslow's thinking.
They like him. You know, they like him, I guess. So
I
they're gonna
like
keep
him.
him around. Yeah, I'm indifferent, really. I think he's a scrappy player. And when he's on, he's extremely productive. once he gets on a single, could be a double or a triple with him. Any hit to the outfield could be a triple. Maybe they get stealing a little more. So you talk about manufacturing runs.
They did that last year, though. They did a lot of stealing.
Yeah, he's going to have to do that. Get in the scoring position early. He can do that. So maybe you keep him around for those moments. But defensively, he's a liability. He's a liability defensively. You put him at left, he has a hard time. He's at the wall to the left, right of him. He's at the wall behind him. He's very shaky.
Robert Anthony, Rafaela, Abreu, he's in the outfield to rank in DH. When somebody gets hurt, you know what's going to happen. You've got a passable Durant to play that spot.
Yeah, right. How's his head going to handle that? Because that's the other thing. If you watch the Red Sox documentary on Netflix, it kind of, he's gone through some issues.
Oh, yeah.
That will he be able to handle not being a regular everyday outfielder and being a DH?
So one thing you're going to do is you're going to give them time. Excuse me. Abreu is going to get his days off. Rafael is going to get a couple of days off.
Sure.
Durant is serviceable enough to replace him on the short term.
Sure.
Maybe once or twice a week, whatever it's going to take. And it's going to improve the health of the other three outfielders.
Sure.
When you look at time off, the only one that's been spared that is Rafaela. Hasn't had an awful lot of time off. Durant has, Abreu has. Robert Anthony obviously did in the stretch drive last year. To have that force, and last year was Verstappen, to have that person on board. What's Robert Anthony's? They're about the same. Anthony's is maybe 2 years behind Durant. So,
who was the fourth infielder for the Red Sox when Rice, Lynn, and Evans played?
Infield or outfield?
Outfield. Sorry.
It's a good question.
Right, because those guys played. I have a hard time with this. Personally, you play. You're making millions. Play. Fred
agree.
Lynn, when I was a kid, my memory of Fred Lim is running into the wall, knocking himself out.
But
Fred Lynn was
aren't injuries unavoidable? Isn't it nice?
No, but are they
insurance
injured or
policy?
they just need a day off? There's a difference. Are they injured?
Manny needed days off.
Huh?
Manny just took days off.
That's my question. Is like, are you injured? You're tired? You need a rest? You have a pretty good life. You get up, you play, the word play, the verb play a game. You play it hard, just like a high school kid's playing hard, so I don't know.
You're on the road, you get your $150 of meal money, you go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
$150 in meal money.
I think that's a going rate.
Really?
You do an awful lot with.
I was going to say, I could never
You
spend.
buy a lot of steak with.
Yeah, but don't you get
on the
meals
road
there?
when you go on the road.
They don't give you food?
In the clubhouse, I'm sure you get
Yeah,
fed in the
the clubhouse.
clubhouse.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Oh, on top of that,
Fenway Park has
the commissary.
Yeah.
But if you're on the road, you're given meal money along with your salary.
I'd
Fun.
be
You get
fatter than
taxed
I
on
already
that.
am.
Yes, you are.
You get taxed on everything.
Yeah, those teams that go out and play in California, New York,
Well,
they get taxed. So their game day money gets
Did
taxed.
you heard that story too? I heard that story a couple weeks ago.
Did I say it? I
No,
didn't say
it was on TV. They were talking about it on TV. California. They talked about players in California. They were talking about all these the Super Bowl because they played in California. They're all being taxed
They're all being
separately.
taxed, yeah.
Because
if you're an incoming player, if you're a Yankee playing at Fenway Park, you're actually taxed by the state of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Right.
And California is one of
you don't
is the
want-
highest.
Yes, and in New
tax
York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I happened to run into a famous NFL player a couple of weeks ago, maybe before, and we were talking about life in the NFL as a young person. And
Oh, I know you said it last week.
yeah,
you
he
talked
did
to
say
him,
it, right?
Yeah,
He
you did.
talked about the taxes.
Yeah.
He found out the business side of this was, And they go when the New Orleans Saints went and played the Rams.
Yep.
They got their game day check got taxed in California taxes. So it's a big chunk of money.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then they go play New York. They play the Giants. More taxes.
Yep.
So you want to play like a lot of Florida teams.
Yeah. New Hampshire have a team?
No, you don't.
New Hampshire have a team? Tennessee. I was just
The
going to say
Titans,
Tennessee
they
have a
got
team.
golden.
Texas, too. Texas.
Yeah,
Texas.
sure. Wyoming, they don't have a team.
They have a team, though.
Right? So
Some exhibition games.
One of the unforeseen residuals of the loss of the Paw Sox to McCoy Stadium was when the Rochester Red Wings or the Norfolk team came in. Their players were taxed
Oh,
by
yeah.
the state of Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah. We'll get you.
And over the course of 154 divided by 2, what's that, 76 games?
Mm.
It's a lot of scarol
Yeah.
that the state lost in revenue from tax dollars from opposing teams coming into play.
Right. So that's why another argument for a team, we need to bring a team into Rhode Island.
You got a soccer team.
Another reason
And the
why
same
we
thing
need
is
to
happening
bring
there.
it to Rhode Island.
You got a hockey team.
Okay. Providence Bruins. I always enjoyed watching them.
Yep.
They wore my favorite jerseys last night. I wonder if they're going to be up for auction.
I had a friend of mine played for the Providence Bruins years ago.
Who's that?
Many years. J.I. Alongo.
Mm.
He played for them. Nice, our daughters played softball.
Way back, a Hendricken graduate by Robbie Griffin.
Robbie
Yeah,
Gribben.
I went
Gribben. Providence firefighter.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we graduated in '85 together.
You're old.
You graduated with Rob Griffin?
Well, it was Green, then Gribben. So he sat right behind me.
So they just overlooked you and looked at
Half-
Robbie because they
Was
you,
he
you
a
know what?
first responder as well?
Providence firefighter.
Yeah,
Providence firefighter. Yep. Good guy. Good. He was a goalie.
Yes, he was.
He was a goalie.
Yep, he played with a couple of guys that were pretty good.
Yeah.
Him, Jimmy Kramer. Jimmy Kramer was
David Emma.
David Emma.
He was
right?
he was a year behind, 2 years behind you.
Behind me, and then you had Jimmy Calcione was ahead
Mhm.
of me.
The Barad brothers,
The Barad brothers. Yeah.
David and Scott.
Hockey
More so
was a
David,
different
yeah.
animal back then, honestly. But we always went to hockey games. Like we always went to. We never went to basketball games. We always went to Thayer Arena and watched hockey. I don't remember them being 9:00 games though.
I do, and I was just going to say something. My junior year at Henriken, I remember going to a semifinal game, Henriken game, at the Providence Civic Center at the time. We left there and we drove to Brown University
Being an auditorium.
for the hockey game, and that's where the best of 3 between Henriken and Mount went 5 games. Best of 3 went 5 games. And he kept tying.
Was that David Barad's last year?
Yep. Yes, it was David because I was a junior. David was a senior. So that best of 3 went 5 games because they kept tying it.
Right.
So we went from a semifinal basketball game, and the rest of us all drove up to Brown and watched that hockey game because that was incredible hockey back then. Incredible hockey.
Yeah, it was good hockey back then when we were kids.
Yeah.
You
When you
know,
talk about the 9:00 games, there was a time when at the West Warwick Civic Center,
Hey.
they would play triple headers, 6, 7:30 at night with the scheduled times. That 9:00 game didn't begin until like 9:45. And then the league just said, you know what? No,
I
I remember we used to do hockey games on the radio.
Yeah, that's right.
Used to do double headers on the radio, either from West Warwick or from Thayer. I remember doing games with, Pete Shepard and John used to do games at Thayer, and I'd be back at the studio producing the games at the studio, and these guys would be at Thayer Arena for two or 3 games, usually just 2 games back
Wow.
then.
Yep.
They do 2 hockey games on a Saturday night, and I'd be producing back at the studio. Yep.
And
Back
as
in the
cold
day.
as West Warwick was, the old Mid-State Arena, not far from here.
Oh, yeah, where the
It's-
salt shed is now. Yeah.
Yep. That was a cold barn.
Yeah,
But
we
again,
don't do
they had doubleheaders 7:30 at night every week.
Picture this. Back in the day, before they built that makeshift press box at Thayer, we did it in the stands. He and I do a game back in like 2016 back on the radio, and you have to climb a ladder to get into the press box at Thayer now, like literally a metal ladder. You got to see this guy trying to
Nimble?
climb a metal
No.
ladder to get in the press
we didn't have to
box.
climb a ladder. Did we have to climb a ladder at Warwick Vets?
Yes. Yeah, well, we'll never do a game at Warwick Vets ever again.
We
Until
did a game-
until that new stadium's built.
Yeah, I had to do it. I had to climb a
Pittsfield.
ladder. It was coaching at Salve. I had to climb a ladder at Coast Guard Academy. And then
Oh
first
wow!
You had to climb a ladder to get to the area.
I have to ask a question. I haven't been to the Henrican football field since I was a junior at Henrican. I haven't been back, and I remember calling the games on the PA.
Oh yeah,
I was a
yeah.
PA announcer,
Nice.
but how
All
come
the
they never?
amenities now.
Yeah, but how come it's not bigger? How come? I mean, I'm just asking, and I'm not. You know, I have no stake in the game. I'm just curious. West Warwick, Coventry, they have bigger
Because
press
they're not-
boxes than
because they
Henrican.
can't, because so that press box was donated by the Riley family. who
Okay,
who
sure.
I'm close with.
Yeah.
You know, Phil Riley.
From North
FBI
Kingstown.
agent. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I know who he is.
but they had, you know, what Hendricken tends to do is if they have 5,000, they can't wait and build it to 10. They just want to spend that money right away. So that's what you get. You get it. So if you only have a certain amount of money and you want to use it right now, that's what you get. If you waited and try to build more and get more money, you can create a bigger press box. So when they built that thing, we all looked at it and said, this isn't efficient for football at all. There's no flat roof, so usually cameras
Cameras
on the
go on
roof,
top like Westerly.
right?
Yeah.
It makes sense. You know, they just didn't do it right because they're very short-sighted. Like everyone there went to school there, left for 4 years, and came back. So their vision of the world is that bubble, and so they think, oh, it's great. You go in there and you're like, geez, man, this isn't functional.
Even North Kingstown, when they built their beautiful.
Beautiful.
We did a couple of games in NK down at this football field.
Wesley, beautiful. I mean, it just
I'll even give Kristen
Very
West
short-
props. They got a decent press box in Kristen
it's
West.
short-sighted.
Well, we'll never use it
No,
again.
Never
you
ever
can't
again.
use it.
Never.
But you know, that's always been my opinion of it. Is if the money burns a hole in their pocket, if they just wait a little longer, try to raise a few more dollars, maybe they can make it, you know, a more functional space.
I would love to do a Henrican game. It's just not feasible for us
can't.
now
There's no
because there's no
room.
room. We can't. We gotta quit. We're looking
John and
about.
I in an
You did that game, an
NFHS
FHS game, yeah.
Out in the, you know,
I would never.
it was,
It's like I
We've
can't.
never been closer.
I'm sure.
no, yeah.
It's like we
That was
can't do
uncomfortable.
unfortunately we can't do a Coventry baseball or softball because there's no press box.
Right. Yeah, there isn't a press. Yeah,
No,
right?
there's no press box.
No.
Unfortunately.
And West Warwick is kind of a. I mean, that's your jammed in there, but at least
No,
you can
actually,
stick
it's
your head out
not.
the window.
Actually, I mean the
Space behind
softball.
you,
Oh, the soft.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, I like that softball press box only because of the angle. You just can't see that left field
Well, you're right
corner.
on top of them. That's
You're on top of. That's why I like it.
You're over it. Yeah.
And doing baseball there, that's awesome. I love
Yeah,
doing baseball
baseball
at
is good.
McCarthy Field.
Yep,
It's great.
Baseball is good there.
Yeah.
So that would be it. You know, in the weight room, you know, you know, when you're trying to woo athletes, if you want to bring them into the areas where they will be impressed. Locker room, weight room, you know, and for whatever reason, they just, they took a vow of poverty and they're sticking to it. So
They're not nuns.
I know.
Oh, they're brothers. There's no brothers there anymore.
There's
so.
no brothers.
So, friends, after the trip down memory lane, we bid you a fond adieu. That will do it for this edition of 321 Kent County Sports Talk. For Johnny Boots and Mike Reed, John Perky saying so long for now. We'll see you next week from the studios in Westerly.
Oh.
So long.